Man, I've been trying to follow the Ahmaud Arbery trial. I think it's interesting in a lot of different ways. Um, I haven't been able to really follow it as in detail. It's a lot of information. You got three defendants on trial, and it's a lot of information that's going around. So I haven't been able to really follow it as closely as I would like to. But that's the good thing about social media and YouTube. You can go back and catch those videos and catch up on what's really going on and for yourself. You know what I mean? As opposed to word of mouth. But I was just kind of like scrolling through it, and I thought that this little clip here was interesting, man, because there's a lot going on with this trial, and I just want to say this real quick. I will play this little clip here because I like this judge, man. This judge, I think he's a really fair judge. I think he's an honest guy. I like him. I think he's a fair judge. Either way the case goes, I think he's a fair judge. But the defendant Roddy, man, look, you need to get another attorney, man. I'm telling you. So I don't know whoever know this guy, but his attorney is terrible. Oh my god. But look, so look, we on like what, day 7. And on day 7, these guys is already trying to call for a mistrial. And it's interesting because I had just had this conversation last week that this was going to happen, that there was going to be something that they were going to try to use and employ the cause for a mistrial. And sure enough, here it is. So I actually took this clip. I was going to send it. Actually, I still am going to send it to a friend of mine because we were debating about this last week. And I said, man, look, any minute now they're going to call to try to get a mistrial, and it might even end in a mistrial at some point. We'll see. But that's what they're looking for. But the judge's name is Timothy Walmsley, and he denied the motion for the mistrial. They actually tried to push for a mistrial today, and and he denied it. But it's interesting because what they were trying to push for the what they were trying to push for the mistrial is that some of the guests are not even guests. I guess you could call them their guests, but it's open to the public. Have been high profile excuse me, high profile pastors. Jesse Jackson has been there, and so they've been trying to use that to say that these high profile pastors that's been there, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, that in some way would sway the jury into looking at this from a more historical standpoint as far as civil rights is concerned, and that could creep into their minds and somehow sway the juror and so forth and so on. But I think that the judge handled it like a G, a straight G. Let's check him out, man. He handled it like a G. Let's go.
Are steps being taken by the court during the jury trial to ensure that jurors are not influenced by anything happening around the courthouse. So then we start getting into what we have now with individual members or individuals coming into the courtroom. I will say that is directly in response, Mr. Goff, to statements you made, which I find reprehensible. The Colonel.
Mr. Goff is Roddy's defense lawyer. That's Roddy's defense lawyer. Roddy, he wasn't he wasn't the father or the son. He was a friend that lived, I believe, 2 doors down that got involved with the chase of Ahmaud. He was also the one who recorded the whole entire incident, or the majority of the incident, because some of the camera footage that you see from the incident is from other houses that had cameras out front of their house. So you do see other footage from Ahmaud as well from those properties but the actual incident itself, whereas though Ahmaud was shot and lost his life, this was caught by this attorney, and this attorney has handled this situation in the worst possible way that you could for his client. I mean, if he was my attorney, I'd be like, yo, he got to go. But anyway, let's get back to Walmsley, because Walmsley is a gangster.
Sanders statement you made last week, I would suggest maybe something that has influenced what is going on here. In responce to that, and to his credit, Mr.
Hold
Sheffield
on for a second.
made some
Hold on for a
comments,
second. We
but
got to
did
go
say,
back to that
come on,
comment
come
that he
all,
just made. Hold on.
which I find reprehensible. The Colonel Sanders statement you made last week, I would suggest maybe something that has influenced what is going on here.
Right.
In response to that, and to his credit, Mr. Sheffield made some comments, but did say, come one, come all.
Right.
And so now the court is faced with balancing a lot of things going on outside this courtroom and doing it in a way that respects members of the public's right to be in the courtroom, as well as what I'm trying to put out there is a fair trial, right? So you need to understand, everybody, that your words in this courtroom have an impact on a lot of what's going on. And so my measured response at this point is to balance all of that out. And
let me just break that down for you, what he basically just said in layman terms. You need to watch your mother mouth, because what you say can get you in a lot of hot water. Basically, that's what he said. Don't write a check that your ass can't cash, because that's what he did. You wrote a check that your ass couldn't cash, and they showed up, and now you don't like it. Come one, come all is what you said. And then that Colonel Sanders, and then who else? Oh man, I like this judge, man. I think he's holding it down, because I've seen him get at the prosecutors too. You know what I'm saying? So he's fair. I like this judge, man. As far as judges go, let's get back.
try to move forward with the trial. I'm not granting a mistrial at this point based on these arguments that are being made, because
Nope.
I think I'm not granting a mistrial at this point based on the arguments that have been made.
Nope.
I'll be
Good
ready
try.
with the witness.
Yo, that is hilarious, man. That is hilarious, man. I you know what I'm saying? That's hilarious, man, that they would even try that this early in, but like, I was expecting it, man. I think a lot of people was expecting it, and listen, if that was my lawyer, I would be wanting my lawyer to try and pull out every stunt too. Try to get that mistrial, man. Try to get that hung jury. You're gonna try everything, every trick in the book. But I just think that Roddy's lawyer is just going about the wrong way. I think he's already lost the jury. I think the jury already dislikes him, and I think he's not doing Roddy any justice. I really don't. I think he's more so up there having fun with it and taking it more as a joke, and because he's exacerbating situations that he doesn't need to, and I think he's doing it at the expense of Roddy's freedom, at the expense of his client's freedom. I really don't think he's taking it that serious. I really don't. I mean, I think he's looking at it like he's getting paid. Maybe he's not getting paid a whole hell of a lot of money. I seen him on an interview. We're going to touch on this interview. I seen him do an interview where he would not let Roddy speak or, say anything with regard to why he couldn't speak up for himself at all. In fact, he went as far to say that basically he did not want his client to speak because he's not that smart. Basically, that's what he said. He said, my client's not that bright. He said he has a high school education, and having a high school education and where he's from is not saying much. That's what he said about his own client. So think about that. If that's what he said about his own client in that city, because you're being judged by your peers, right, in the city in which you live or county in which you live, well, how many of those people in that juror may not have college degrees? How many of them may just have high school diplomas? And here your judge is saying, I mean, here your lawyer is saying, people with high school diplomas in this area ain't that bright. I think then also I think Roddy's a mechanic. He down that. I mean, he's only a mechanic. He's I just don't think this lawyer, man, is that bright, man. Or if he is, like I said, he's looking at like it's not at his expense. You know what I'm saying? That to me, that's the way he's looking at it, man. And that's how he look like he's handling it. And if I was Roddy, I would be looking for a new attorney ASAP. I'm just trying to tell you. But anyway, man, look, I'm out of here, man. We'll watch this last quarter of the game. Y'all be safe, peace, and blessings, and be good to each other. One.